எந்த மோட்டிவேஷன் உங்களை தோணுச்சு?
ரெண்டு விஷயம் சொல்லலாம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஒன்று வந்து நான் 10th ஃபெயில். சரியா, 10th ஃபெயில் தான் என்ன ஆச்சு, முடிஞ்சது கதை. யூ ஹேவ் டு ஃபைண்ட் கிரியேட்டிவ்லி a solution to this problem. I can actually find somebody, then I take away that noise. So whenever you have a noise, take that noise out, right? And then find another alternate. The point of this story is, when you have the pain that you're going after is real for you, adnalda superficial panna mudiyadu. If this is not your calling, if this is not your assignment, don't pick that up. You may be having a different calling in your life. Pick up that calling and run with that calling. Does it make sense? Then even the kashta will not become a kashta for you. The definition of success is not defined by somebody outside. It's defined by you. எவ்வளவு தூரம் போறோன்றது நமக்கிட்ட தானே இருக்கு இல்ல? The term prison from punishment to corrections changed in 300 AD. But the point of this story is, when you have the pain that you're going after is real for you, adnalda superficial panna mudiyadu. If this is not your calling, if this is not your assignment, don't pick that up. நான் 10th ஃபெயில். சரியா, 10th ஃபெயில் தான் என்ன ஆச்சு, முடிஞ்சது கதை. அங்கே பொட்டி கடையில் போய் பாக்கெட்டை இது பண்ண வேண்டியதான். சயின்ஸில் ஃபெயில். சரியா, ஸோ ரெண்டாவது வாட்டி வந்து நான் வந்து பரீட்சை எழுதும்போது 10th எழுதும்போது எல்லாம் சொன்னாங்க, நான் என்ன சொன்னேன், 5 பேப்பரும் திரும்ப எழுதணும்னு சொன்னேன். சரியா, எல்லாம் சொன்னாங்க, ஐயோ உனக்கு ஒரு பேப்பர் எழுதுறதுக்கே துப்பு கிடையாது, 5 பேப்பர் நீ எப்படி எழுத போற, மேத்ல ஃபெயில் ஆனாலும் முடிஞ்சது கதைன்னு சொன்னாங்க. இப்போ 5 ஒரே பேப்பர்ல ஒரே மார்க் ஷீட்ல இருக்கும். சரியா, நான் சொன்னேன் இல்லை 5 எழுத போறேன்னு. ஸோ செகண்ட் டைம் எழுதும்போது I got 489 out of 500, right? And I took science as my major. And I went and did computer science. The failure வந்து என்னோட லைஃப்ல இந்த மூவில I was trying to say that பிறக்கும்போது எனக்கு அப்பா கொடுக்கப்படல, ரைட்? I had to fight my way through. படிக்கிறதுக்கு சுத்தம் அவ்வளோ பெரிய அறிவெல்லாம் கிடையாது. I had to fight. இல்லை? So failure is, you're absolutely right. We don't need to go to a depression. But at the same time, we have to use Martin Luther King ஒரு ஸ்பீச், I have a dreamனு ஒரு ஸ்பீச் இருக்கு, very famous speech. You should look at that. அந்த ஸ்பீச்ல அவர் சொல்றாரு, unearned suffering, right? If you are suffering for something that you didn't earn, right? Unearned suffering is redemptive. அப்படி சொல்றாரு. We have to push through. There are sometimes like you go through a problem that you did not cause, right? Sometimes நம்ம திங்கிறோம், ஐயோ நமக்கு இது கிடைக்கலையே, அது கிடைக்கலையே, செல்போன் வாங்க முடியலையா, இது புக் வாங்க முடியல, ஸோ மற்றவனுக்கு இருக்குது, கார் இருக்கு, பைக் இருக்கு, எனக்கு இல்லையே. See, அதெல்லாம் வந்து external things, right? But there are some internal things also can happen. But if it's an unearned suffering, we should use that to redeem ourselves than to just go into depression. சரியாமா? So that's one thing. The second thing வந்து, when I went to US, I was taken down at a gunpoint, right? Locked up in a dark room for 45 minutes. Somebody had a gun in my head. ஒரு 45 நிமிஷத்துக்கு மரண பயம்னா என்னன்னு காட்டிட்டாங்க, மரணத்தோட வாசனையை காட்டிட்டாங்க. மாறான்னு ஒரு படம் பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா? எத்தனை பேர் பார்த்துருக்கீங்க மாறா? ஓகே, அந்த படத்துல கனின்னு ஒரு ரோல், அந்த பொண்ணு வந்து சூசைட் பண்ண போறான். சரியா, அப்போ மாதவன் ஓட்டு மேல வராங்க, வரும்போது அந்த துப்பாக்கி சுடும் போது ஆயிடுது. அப்போ அவன் ஓடுறா, பின்னாடி அவன் தருத்திட்டே போறான். சரியா, தருத்திட்டு போகும்போது அதுல ஒரு பியூட்டிஃபுல்லான ஒரு வசனம் இருக்கு. அவன் சொல்லுவான், உங்களை சாவாதீங்கன்னு சொல்றதுக்கு எனக்கு உரிமை இல்லை, ஆனா if you decide today not to kill, I'll be very jealous of your life ன்னு சொல்லுவான். ஏன்னா அதுக்கப்புறம் when you go to the extreme part of seeing your death, இந்த life is very fragile, இப்படின்றதுக்குள்ள போயிடும் நம்மள விட்டு. கேன்சர் இது சில வேலையில நமக்கு வந்து என்ன பண்றதுன்னு கூட தெரியாது, பழிச்சுட்டு போயிடும் நம்ம கண்ணு முன்னாடி. சரியாமா? So my point is that at that point I saw my death very close, right? After that, every day after March 1994, every second, every minute, every day is a gift to me. I should have been dead and gone. So that's how my அங்க அந்த பிரிசனுக்கு போகும்போது அவன் சொன்னா, we will not support you because நீ தான் போய் அந்த பிரிசன்ல 2 நாள் இருக்கணும்னு சொல்ற, we will not put the arms or any protection for you, you're on your own. நான் என்ன தெரியுமா நினைச்சேன், இந்த உயிர் 94ல போய் இருக்கும் தானே, இன்னைக்கு போனா அப்படிதான் நினைச்சேன் நான். It's not like I don't care. When you have that kind of like an agony in your stomach, illama, you will fight that battle. Failure vanda kuda illa. That's what I wanted to instill. Failure vanda kuda illa. You should not give up. You should just fight this. So I hope it helps. எவ்வளோ போராடி இந்த பிரிசனை வாங்கிட்டோம். Now we have converted that into a trade school as well, right? And now this is the first time in the history of US a prison is getting converted into a trade school. இதுக்கு முன்னாடி அட்டெம்ப்ட் வந்து 1965ல ஈஸ்டர்ன் ஃபிலடெல்ஃபியால யாரோ பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அது 1990 வரைக்கும் ட்ரை பண்ணிட்டு ப்ரப்போசல் ஸ்டேஜ்லேயே நின்று now it is a museum for education. சரியா? But now I'm going and acquiring more prisons, right? So I need more resources, right? I need more people, but not இது வந்து காசு கொடுத்து எடுத்துடலாம் ஆளுங்களை. But that's not going to help. I want people with passion. It cannot be a job. It has to be a calling. Someone from Raipuram studied in Trichy, went up to, do all these things. If I'm able to do it, you should be able to do it as well, right? There is nothing that, we can put our hearts behind that we cannot do, right? And that's what's the core of this message is that. And that's what we wanted to say, right? And everybody, in this earth has an assignment to complete. The intent of this movie is like, to go find what is your assignment, right? See, sometimes what happens is like you have a vision, you have a mission, you have a calling, and you go work for it. And then, you hit with like a problem. See, if you are going against the stream, you're going to have a, fight, right? So you have to fight for this. The reason why I'm saying that is because you will not earn the trust and the love and respect unless your skin is on the game. People ask me, what are you doing if you have... So this is what has happened in the last 12 years, right? I started my journey in North South Carolina. The North and South Carolina, only thing that I did different is like I take the kids into the prison, and this is how the fathers have to register the kids. They have to, wash their children's feet and ask for forgiveness. That's the only thing that I ask the fathers to do. Then I help them with education, right? I was expecting the kids to do well in school because we're measuring that data. But here's what I did not expect that to happen. The fathers who are washing their children's feet and the moms that were washing their children's feet are not coming back into prison. South Carolina went from 26,000 inmates to 15,000 inmates, right? And North Carolina, and the prisons got closed. North Carolina went from 74 prisons to 53 prisons. Go Google that, right? And I collect all the data and I'm showing them, right? So the second part of first is reconciling the relationship. The second part that I was doing was sending these kids to college. The first year when I was trying to send, I had 59 kids that were ready to go to college. We made the phone calls to find out, 30 out of the 59 were already in prison. 19 were pregnant at the age of 14 and 15, right? And 10 of them were doing 5th or 6th grade, failing all the way. I could not find one kid in 2013. But because these fathers kept washing their children's feet, 14, I was able to send 3 kids to college. I was like, Yahoo! Then 8, 25. As of this morning, I've sent 111 kids to college or technical or trade school, right? About 3 years ago, I went back to the state and I said, look, I have sent kids to college, but here's the problem. I have 2,000 kids that are getting ready to go to college. Now the kids are getting amazing good grades. They're doing a double major in biometrical engineering, computer science. They don't need sympathy. They just need somebody to just be on their corner, right? So I said, I have 2,000 kids, so I don't want to, send this college scholarship, but instead I want to start my own college, my own trade school, my own technical school, right? And the Senator Steinberg said, Cyril, that's a good idea. You should do it, right? I said, yeah. But if I have closed those prisons, then I need those prisons transferred over to me, right? That was kind of a request that never had. See, here's the thing. When you are believing in the assignment that God has given to you, right? You need to believe first in yourself what you can and cannot do. And you have to push the boundary to go further than that. If you are going through the norm, you're going to be stuck in this norm. You just need to go beyond the normal and ask for a change, right? doing the same thing again and again. There is a, I think Edison who said like, if you continue to do what you're doing, that you cannot see the difference. You need a paradigm shift, right? So this guy calls the commissioner and he's asking, is it possible? Is satyama? The commissioner said, no, it's not possible because it's a government building. You cannot give it to an individual. But if there is a legislative change, சட்டத்தை மாத்தினா பண்ணிரலாம் சொல்றாங்க. Right? 2022, December 23. This is when this conversation happened. 2 years plus fight. October 2023, the state of North Carolina underwrote their very first prison into my hands. It's a $40 million property, 1.2 million square feet, right? And they gave it to me for $1. You need to believe what you're doing. That's the only way you're going to find your way to push the boundary, right? That's why I was saying, don't pick up and go to a jail or a prison. There is an assignment for every one of us, and we need to believe that assignment, right? Just before coming here, we turned that prison now into a trade school. It's called 5 and 2 Trade School. The prison's already broken. We are now a movie-making production company. Did you realize there's over 600 guys put their hand on that movie, right? And Steve Curtis Chapman, his song from Cinderella is licensed here. If you had watched The Chosen, which is the series, Kappa Studios, and the end credit you saw Kappa Studios, they are the ones who worked on the post-production. 80% of the work in the movie is not actually the acting, it's the post-production, the BGM, the sound, and the editing, and all these things. That's not my skill. But, I was able to hire the right guys to do that part, right? To an extent, this will come to theaters in the US, in 2,500 theaters in the US. Now, state of Virginia, Texas, and Ohio has offered their closed prisons. Why is this important? People constantly ask me, Cyril, why are you so bent on picking up prisons? Why? Because in the US, they have 50 states, right? Out of 50 states, 36 states have more prisons and jails than colleges. 16 states have more prison beds than college dorm beds. If anything, I want to break the prison system over there. Same way, when you take one step forward, God's going to take a 99 forward for you. That's the only reason why I wanted to come here, to just give you guys a little bit of a boost, to be your cheerleader.